how do you do? So recently I've been reading Lava by Javed Akhtar, which is basically a collection of some of his nazms and ghazals. This book got me to thinking, what is my relationship with poetry? And quite a few questions popped up. Firstly, is it really necessary for us to have a relationship with an author? Do we really need to understand their background, where they're coming from, what was the circumstance within which they wrote a certain piece of poetry? I think not. I think the words need to resonate with your reality, with your circumstances, for you to actually feel them, relate with them. Just like when you're reading a fiction book, just like when you're reading non-fiction, you don't know much more about the author until and unless you really want to explore, and it's really not necessary for you to explore that much. It's the same with poetry. You really don't need to know where the poet was coming from to resonate with the words that they've written. And therefore, it goes on to show that you can start off with poetry anywhere and everywhere. I do not own more than two or three poetry books. Most of the poems that I read is basically from Instagram pages or a few Substack posts that I've subscribed to. Is it necessary for you to understand every piece of poetry that you come across? I think not. Even though an author might be very, very famous. For example, Agha Shahid Ali, who is extremely, extremely famous. I do not understand his poetry at all. His words really go through over my head. I wish I could understand, but I don't. And I don't grieve about it because I find other poets that I can relate with. Other poems that are very dear to me. And so you do not have to pressurize yourself into understanding a certain poet, no matter how famous they are. And that goes on for anything and everything, whether it's music, shows that you're watching. Your choices should not be defined by your peers, social media trends, whatever. And so therefore you can start with poetry anywhere and everywhere. I really do hope that you find a certain poem that gets you through into the realm of poetry, the magic